Well, hello folks. Just a short video here to show you my latest Craigslist find in addition to the shop. And that is this Craftsman 6" by 48" belt sander I picked up for a great deal. It was $40 US. These things were selling for the last three months. I've been looking for between 100 and 140. So this was a good buy. Let's take a closer look at it. So I got this thing out of the back of my little SUV, and they gave me the manual for it. And in the manual, it's got a print date of 1978. I'm guessing this thing is probably made from 78 to probably the mid 80s. Little later model ones, they used to have a little lever here later to adjust to take the belts on and off. This one is still the old style, and it has the adjuster bolts and the locking bolts to get that on and off. It is made out of cast iron, and it probably weighs close to 100 pounds. It's not light, which is good because cast iron absorbs vibration and it's very stiff. So once I get this thing a little bit better looked at, I can see what's going on here. You can see this thing was taken apart at one time, the motor. I don't know what happened to it, but you can see that they left the plate off the back of it, so it's a pretty generic motor. I might be able to find another one, but I'm not sure. And when the guy was showing me this thing, he did say that this switch does not work. It's shorted out, so when you plug it in, it just turns on. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and turn it on and see what it does. There's smelling a little burning here. I don't know if it's the motor or the belt. What do you say we take the belt cover off this thing and take the belt off? The belt is actually kind of loose, so that might be what's smelling here. These things are usually held on with little spring clips, and this one is held on with a spring clip. Oh, look at the crap in there. Holy hell. Some type of fruit ball. Looks like mice or squirrels were living in there. Let's get all this crap cleaned out of there.
Someone lost a pencil.
Well, the belt doesn't come off unless I loosen up the motor, which means I got to take these bolts, nuts out of there, loosen it up, and try and heave that belt off. Well, I've removed the belt off camera here, and it does look a little like it's been on there a while. And these Craftsman stuff, this is typical Craftsman. Why in the world you would build this whole thing and enclose it? You got to take the belt off before you can take the belt guard off. It's just stupid. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this thing out of there so I don't have to do that. Alright, I'm going to turn this motor on to see if the smell is coming from the motor. If it's coming from the motor, that's not going to be good news. I am not smelling anything coming from that motor, so it had to have been the belt that was too loose that was causing the problem. Trying to get this stupid sanding disc off. Another modification I'm making is get this. I'm going to put a Velcro type sticky pad on there, so no more trying to get this glue, all this caked on glue. That is going to be a bitch to get off of there. And you have to do that every time you change the damn disc. But as long as I've got the disc, I may as well use it. Okay, I got the belt a little tighter. Problem is the motor sits like this, and there's 4 adjusting screws. It doesn't just go up and down, it goes back and forth, which is understandable. But when you try and tighten it up, the motor cocks one way or the other. That is another modification I'm going to have to fix on this thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and plug it in and see if this thing does any better. You can see that belt waving bye-bye at us. Maybe it's just a bad belt, who knows. See what it looks like when I put some metal to it. Well, it doesn't exactly work like a Burger King, but I don't think it's that bad. I'm going to order some 36 grit sandpaper for it and see what that does. But man, my first order of business with this thing is that motor already has gone cockeyed. I am going to have to think up some way to get that thing a little more stabilized so I can make easier adjustments. I probably will not do another video on this until I get ready to modify that motor housing, actually the motor bracket, so I can more easily adjust that belt and adjust the motor. The motor seems fine, but it's going all cockeyed and kittywampus, and then it's starting to put pressure on the belt, and it's causing the belt to start to squeal. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.